Somebody's turning into a creepy stalker for publicity. The calligraphy's back, folks. Look at this. Dear Amanda, I heard you were feeling scared. Don't be. This is the fun part.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the latest controversy surrounding Meghan Markle, her so-called serial killer handwritten note that's making headlines. But here's the kicker: experts say it's a total fake PR stunt.
Let's enjoy it. As ever, creepy Meghan. According to Taz Royal, YouTube sensation Tasha Canal with me now. Tash, tell me the whole story. Who is this note to? Why has she done this? And do we really believe it?
Dan. Well, the lady she's written the letter to is a podcaster called Amanda Hirsch, and she is a celebrity podcaster. And I hadn't heard of her personally because it's not the sort of thing I listen to, but I noticed the sort of people that she has interviewed, big name stars, Ryan Reynolds, Kristen Stewart.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yep.
So the Blake Lively connection again.
Kim Kardashian. And what do those three people all have in common, Dan? Well, they are all signed by WME. So
she's a plant. This is a plant.
Pardon?
She's a plant, this woman.
Of course it is. It's been designed to be clapback because of the Vanity Fair article, because of the Hollywood Reporter, because she's had so much backlash. She's a really nasty person. And I'm sorry, the fact that this woman interviews a lot of people from WME, Meghan is still reportedly signed with WME. I don't think that this was just a nice thing that she's done. She's just trying to change her image and obviously appeal to a different fan base, because Amanda then said, oh, I'm now a fan for life, which of course in turn is trying to get other people to then like Meghan. This is all just one big storyline that she's trying to peddle at the moment. Look how lovely I am. Look how likable I am. I send out beautiful handwritten notes. And it's creepy. It was creepy.
Plus, Netflix's CEO just broke silence on why they're still backing Meghan despite all the backlash. This story is wild, so stick around. So, Meghan Markle recently sent a handwritten letter to a celebrity podcaster, Amanda H. Sounds sweet, right?
And by the way, I don't even like the handwriting. Can I just say it's really difficult to read and it's pretty basic as far as I am concerned. Now, can I show you the video that the podcaster put up to do with this? Proving, by the way, that it's all PR. Because what's so interesting, Tash, is the envelope that she shows has no address. So Meghan didn't just put this in the post, did she? That this was set up via one of those connections for PR purposes, because also this podcaster who's all about being in with the celebrities was never going to post it without Meghan's permission anyway. But look at the series of Instagram posts she has made.
Guys, I just got a letter. And I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this? Started thinking what it could be. Any guesses?
And then, there you go, the little before. So sweet. What a surprise. And of course, Meghan now has a fan for life, Tash.
Of course.
Are you buying it?
Of course. I'm not buying it at all. I'm really not. I just think that there is a lot of desperate people out there that are backed the wrong horse, and the credibility of Meghan after Vanity Fair and obviously the Hollywood Reporter, she's desperately scrambling to try and change the narrative, and it's too little, too late, and no amount of podcasters are going to be able to dig her out of the hole that she's already in.
Let's look at some other reaction to this, Tash. Nancy Sidley of Twin Talks posted, "This is literally a note a serial killer sends to the detectives looking for them." Marie posted, "Oh God, so cringe. And after all she said and done, the M with the crown is absolutely ridiculous. Tash, this made me so angry too. In fact, I'm going to share your tweet before you go into it because you were so perfect on this. You said the royal family and being a working royal nearly crushed her soul. It was the worst experience of her life, which was barely survivable. She had everything stripped from her, including her identity and passport. But here she is, still using her royal monogram with a crown. It's spreading a harmful narrative. God, Tash, isn't she shameless?
She is shameless, but this is deliberate again. This is exactly the same as the waffles looking like Queen Elizabeth. She knows using that crown, using that monogram, doing that, it's going to invoke rage in monarchists and royal supporters because they're going to be like, how dare she, after everything that she did to Queen Elizabeth II, how she made her final months really and final years absolutely awful with the hurts and the damage that they tried to cause to everything that she'd spent her life building up. And here she is still using the title, still using the royal monogram. She does it on purpose, Dan, so people like you and I get riled up. We have a rant about it. And then Meghan can go, I'm still being victimized. They just won't leave me alone. Look, I had to flee for my life from the UK, but I'm still being targeted by the crazy royal fans. She is deliberately poking people to get a reaction.
Well, not quite. Critics are calling this note creepy, some even comparing it to something you'd see in a serial killer documentary. The handwriting is reportedly messy and hard to read, and here's the kicker. There was no return address on the envelope. How did it even get delivered?
She really is. She really is. And that's why we have to call it out. The other thing that you pointed out, Tash, though, is that if she was genuinely a nice and sweet and kind person, she wouldn't have done what she did to her father, the Queen, Prince Philip, Catherine, all the staff that she's bullied. You say, it's a facade. She's only nice to other women when she can get something out of them. And in this case, it's publicity and hopefully some new fans from Amanda's own fan base. And that's the point, isn't it? We're not buying this. I mean, look at these new pictures she posted today, Tash, laughing uncontrollably. But when you actually zoom in on the face, I've never seen more of a fake laugh. So we're not buying into it. She might be getting the coverage that she wants. She might be getting the publicity she wants, but actually no one's liking her as a result of all of this.
I hadn't seen those pictures yet, Dan. That honestly, that was a real-time reaction from me there. Wow. She looks absolutely off her rocker. Nobody laughs like that. And the fact that you can see Kelly, her friends, in the background, it's obviously mildly amusing, but Meghan, it's the most hysterical thing that she's ever heard. She's so super fun and she's so funny, and she writes in fake calligraphy, which means that she's lovely. And everything about her is just so unbelievably contrived and fake. And yes, I do stand by what I said. If anybody is to believe that she is this nice and kind and sweet person, then they have to completely overlook the way she's treated so many people, friends and her own family, people that supported her throughout her entire life. And then obviously Harry's family, all of the people. It's not just Harry's family, it's all of the staff, all of the people that were there to make Meghan's life easier. And in return, all she did was make their lives miserable. And she has continued this pattern of behaviour, even though she's left the royal fold. This is how she treats people that she worked with on Spotify. It was the Spotify staff that said that they had to be checked into long-term therapy. They're not even her own staff. Basically, Meghan, if she thinks that you are beneath her or no use to her, then she will treat you absolutely appallingly. But if you are rich and influential, then you are definitely going to be getting lots of harvest baskets, homemade candles, and some chicken scratch handwritten notes.
Which leads us perfectly, Tash, onto Ted Sarandos, the co-chief executive of Netflix. Now, this is a man who Meghan has been, how do I put it, wooing for a very long time.
Love
bombing. Yeah, and also actually really cynically using the fact that he has a mixed race wife, taking them to the Beyonce concerts. Really, she knows Netflix is her last ditch bid of success. And even though Spotify dumped her, calling her an effing grifter, at this point, against all odds, Netflix are holding firm. And Ted Sarandos has done a major interview overnight with Variety, and this is the first time he has been directly asked about Meghan Markle since the launch of As Ever, which has just been a disaster. And he's pretty positive. So let me show you the two key questions about this. And remember, Variety's very soft. They're never going to push him that hard. It's a Hollywood magazine. But they say to Ted Sarandos, you just launched Meghan Markle's lifestyle series With Love Meghan, and you have a stake in her As Ever business. You are making and distributing physical products, from edible flowers to baking mixes. Is Netflix interested in e-commerce? He replies, we're a passive partner in Meghan's company, and it's a big discovery model for us right now. Variety asks, why was she the right person to bet on? Ted Sarandos replies, I think Meghan is underestimated in terms of her influence on culture. When we dropped the trailer for the Harry and Meghan doc series in 2022, everything on screen was dissected in the press for days. The shoes she was wearing sold out all over the world. The Hermes blanket that was on the chair behind her sold out everywhere in the world. People are fascinated with Meghan Markle. She and Harry are overly dismissed.
This immediately raised suspicions. Many believe it wasn't a genuine gesture, but a carefully staged PR move to shift public opinion after some tough media hits from Vanity Fair and The Hollywood Reporter. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting.
Now, look, I don't think either of us can deny, Tash, there is definitely a fascination. But what's very interesting to me is that any time Ted Sarandos is asked about Harry and Meghan, he only refers back to Harry and Meghan in 2022. And a hell of a lot has changed since then, Tash, especially in the US. Like, the reaction to With Love was totally different in the US to the reaction to Harry and Meghan, because people have now seen through their shtick. And I think the jury is very much out as to whether people are prepared to buy products, buy edible flowers from someone who they despise.
Yes, I mean, the change from Harry and Meghan, obviously when Netflix aired, the Queen had not long passed, and it absolutely horrified people. The fact that they must have known that the Queen was very unwell. We later found out she had bone cancer. Then you've got the fact that Prince Philip, her rock of 70 years, had died. And they filmed Netflix knowing all of this, knowing that they were going to attack the Queen's Commonwealth legacy. They knew exactly what they were doing when they did that, and giggled just like they did at the end of Oprah. And it caused a lot of backlash, even people that were sympathetic to them when they first moved, because they believed the initial horror stories that they told on Oprah. But then within a matter of days, people started fact checking. There were things that weren't adding up. And then obviously we then had Netflix, and there were things they said on Netflix which didn't marry up to Oprah. Spare didn't match Netflix or Oprah. And they've lost so much credibility. It's obvious that they have no issues with bending the truth, changing the narrative, rewriting history. So their credibility is down the pan. And so for them now to be trying to peddle themselves as lovely, kind people, a lot of people are not buying what they are selling, including those dead flowers.
Those damn dead flowers. And of course,
Everywhere.
I know, everywhere, just absolutely rolled. And of course, Tash, and I want to show you this actually. Marina Hyde, who, I mean, I can't stand the woman. She's absolutely awful. She's a lefty, totally vile, very rude about me, lies about me all the time. So this is not a woman that you could usually trust. However, she is very connected in entertainment circles. She's the co-host of the Rest is Entertainment podcast alongside Richard Osmond. And she put out this idea that has been circulating for a long time, that actually the only reason that Netflix are really standing by her is a bit like the book, the divorce book which is being pitched, is that they want the post-divorce Meghan series. So actually, they'll keep their hand in while they're waiting for that. Let's have a look at what she said, and I'll get your reaction off the back. So, Tash, I mean, it does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Given Ted Sarandos is going to know, the post-divorce book has already been pitched, sort of makes sense. And actually, given Netflix has so much money, and actually sometimes more money than sense, keeping With Love Meghan rolling on isn't going to cost a lot of money, because the deal is never going to be worth anything like 100 mil, the next one. And actually, then he just waits, and he just waits for the inevitable end of the marriage, whenever it may come.
Amanda, the podcaster who received the letter, interviews big Hollywood names all signed under the same agency as Meghan, WME. So this wasn't just a random act of kindness. It looks like a strategically orchestrated plan to win over a new fan and soften Meghan's image. And guess what? Amanda publicly declared she's now a fan for life. Coincidence? Probably not. If you're following the twists and turns of Meghan's story, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates. Trust me, this saga is far from over. So, what do you think? Is Meghan's handwritten note just a clever PR move? Will Netflix keep backing her despite the controversy? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update on this and more celebrity news. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.